last night. I could not watch it, but there apparently was a debate between the two the two wings of the fascist parties here in the U.S.
The two wings of the genocide party.
That's right, the two wings, both I think competing for how more pro-genocide each of them were. That's kind of par for the course here for American politics. Ali, you had some things that you wanted to say about Kamala.
Well, I mean, I'm sure we all have something to say about Kamala, but why don't we just look at the clips? There were a few parts where the situation was brought up in the first clip. We've got two. I don't know what order they were in the debate, because I admit I didn't watch it either. There are limits to what I'm prepared to do.
Yeah.
But let's run the first one, which is Kamala speaking.
Well, let's understand how we got here. On October 7, Hamas, a terrorist organization, slaughtered 1,200 Israelis, many of them young people who were simply attending a concert. Women were horribly raped. And so absolutely, I said then, I say now, Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters. Because it is also true, far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. Children, mothers. What we know is that this war must end. It must end immediately, and the way it will end is we need a ceasefire deal and we need the hostages out. And so we will continue to work around the clock on that. Work around the clock, also understanding that we must chart a course for a two-state solution.
Right. So as I think Asa said a couple weeks back, it's now the ceasefire process, right? That it was the peace process. Now it's the ceasefire process. It's the two-state solution, endless genocide, and basically what the U.S. and and its junior partner in Israel want is for just complete surrender, and that's apparently what ceasefire means to them.
Yeah, we've got quite a good comment from a viewer here on X saying they didn't fact check this. This sort of liberal fact check culture is a bit annoying quite a lot of the time, because what they're talking about, it's very, very selective. What they say these kind of things for is just over nonsense. But this is a case where we have fact checked what Kamala's saying, and it fails the fact check.
And it fails in a very crucial way, because Tamara, if you could put up the story we did back in June, and what this shows us is that Kamala Harris continues to double down, which of course I didn't. Oh no, I did. There it is. Sorry. It's been a day. That Kamala Harris is doubling down on the lie, the genocidal lie about mass rapes on October 7th. And to this day, as she must know, as the U.S. government must know, that there isn't evidence of a single rape on October 7th, not even one. And she continues to push that lie. So it's absolutely reprehensible. And I think a message to anyone who harbors any hopes or delusions that she's going to be any different from Joe Biden, to wake up from that.
And there's not even an allegation of a single rape on October 7th. There's no named or unnamed anonymous person who is said to have been raped on October 7th. There are generalized allegations that mass rapes occurred on October 7th, but there is never any evidence or specific names of it. Again, very similar in a lot of ways in terms of the lack of evidence and generalized claims as the Labour anti-Semitism hoax during the
it just becomes
years.
True by repetition.
Right.
Anyway, I thought that was important. But there's also and also the other thing, we've pointed this out before, using the language of empathy, that far too many Palestinians have died, as if there's a correct number who should die, but also as if Kamala Harris and Joe Biden aren't sending the 2,000-pound bombs to blow 10-meter deep craters in El Mawasi, making entire families evaporate into thin air, as if they're just observers And as if they're working tireless, she repeated the lie that they're working round the clock for a ceasefire when they're doing no such thing. Absolutely disgusting. But there were two candidates on stage, and the other one was Donald Trump, and we can hear from him. This is a rather longer clip and a bit of an exchange between two of them. I don't. Maybe we should play it on 1 1/4 speed. I don't know. Are we allowed to do that? But it's let's play it. And if we get too sick of it, we'll just say, Tamara, please stop it. But let's run it.
About Israel, all of a sudden, she hates Israel. She wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu when he went to Congress to make a very important speech. She refused to be there because she was at a sorority party of hers. She wanted to go to the sorority party. She hates Israel. If she's president, I believe that Israel will not exist within 2 years from now. And I've been pretty good at predictions, and I hope I'm wrong about that one. She hates Israel. At the same time, in her own way, she hates the Arab population, because the whole place is going to get blown up. Arabs, Jewish people, Israel will be gone. It would have never happened. Iran was broke under Donald Trump. Now Iran has $300 billion because they took off all the sanctions that I had. Iran had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah or any of the 28 different spheres of terror. And they are spheres of terror, horrible terror. They had no money. It was a big story, and you know it. You covered it very well, actually. They had no money for terror. They were broke. Now they're a rich nation, and now what they're doing is they're spreading that money around. Look at what's happening with the Houthis and Yemen. Look at what's going on in the Middle East. This would have never happened. I will get that settled and fast, and I'll get the war with Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president.
Vice President Harris, he says you hate Israel.
Wow.
That's absolutely not true. I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He knows that. He's trying to, again, divide and distract from the reality, which is it is
All right,
very
enough. Oh my God, I can't.
It is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators, wants to be a dictator on day one, according to himself.
Okay,
Wow.
so listen to what she came back with. She said, no, I love Israel. I have all my life. But she said he's weak and wrong on foreign policy. And remember, we talked about this a few weeks ago with the DNC, when the Democrats are running and their platform is that he didn't bomb enough countries.
Yeah.
And so she's running with that again. But I mean, Trump, of course, Trump is a known quantity, but at least he talks about ending wars. Whether he's sincere or not, and nobody can take anything he says really very seriously, but he actually talks about bringing wars to an end rather than continuing them forever, for as long as it takes, as Joe Biden always says, when it comes to the proxy war in Ukraine. And he didn't say that Israel should finish the job. I'm not saying that means anything, but I'm just saying that the language, I don't know. I get. What do you guys think?
Yeah, like part of what he said was not wrong about her going to be.
That's the thing.
She does hate the Arabs. She does.
Yeah,
she does,
he's
and she
a
is going
broken
to blow
clock.
up the whole Middle East. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But of course, if he were right that Kamala Harris being elected would bring Israel to an end in 2
years,
she'd get my endorsement for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it might happen for 2 years.
I'd get
Is
on a
the
phone. I'd be one of the what do you guys
You'd be
get on?
phone
Like,
banking.
phone
Yeah.
banking.
Yeah.
Going door to door.
Anyway, that was the highlights of the debate.
It's I don't know if anyone's seen the documentary film Idiocracy, but it would be a good one to revisit if you haven't.
Yeah, people in the comments mentioning it. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, hopefully enough of that for a while. I mean, we still have 2 months of this before the election, and then who knows what happens after. But unfortunately, we're going to have to be looking at that carefully.